I don't know about you, but in my opinion, Kevin Durant will be leaving the Golden State Warriors this upcoming offseason because of the situation that happened on the court when Draymond never passed the ball to KD, and then KD got mad and the Warriors ended up losing that game to the LA Clippers after Draymond's outburst towards KD, and after the on-court situation, Draymond challenging KD on his free agency this upcoming summer because Draymond feels that KD is allowing rumors to go around about him leaving in this upcoming summer's free agency, and to tell the truth, a player can't shut down those rumors, so I see where Draymond is coming from. So based off of that, Draymond feels that KD is not being loyal, and just the whole situation with the short beef that went on between Draymond and KD, and we all know what else happened. Even KD choosing to like a post about Draymond being traded if DeMarcus Cousins becomes healthy. But let's be honest here, I don't think that the Warriors would ever trade Draymond or even let him walk by deciding not to give him a max contract, because he says that's what he wants from them in the future when he becomes a free agent in the summer of 2020. So Draymond will still be there, and because of this, I feel like KD will walk. I also don't think that KD will even forget about what happened between him and Draymond during this season, going into this upcoming offseason, even after Golden State wins a third ring in a row in June, because we all know how sensitive KD is. And also, everyone involved with the media was big on KD going to play with LeBron on the Lakers, but now we all know that's not happening based off what KD said about LeBron being toxic. And we all know that LeBron is locked in with the Lakers for the next 4 years after he signed a 4-year, $153.3 million deal with them this past summer. The team that I think KD should go to this upcoming offseason is the Toronto Raptors, and you'll see why in a few seconds. But before I get deeper into this video, I'd like to shout out MaxDoney3 YT. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. And whoever wants a shout out in future videos, let me know in the comment section below. And also, very close friends of mine created an Instagram page to raise awareness about Alzheimer's disease. So if you are a person that is suffering from the disease or know someone that is, don't be afraid to follow their Instagram page, Fight Against AD, and to share yours or someone else's story. And like I always say, once again, it's Third Ivy 195 coming at you with another video. Stay tuned.
Hey, sell it for free. Put no prices on that body, sell it for free. Hey, sell it for free. Girl, you know that body prices, sell it for free.
Number 1, KD always dreamt of being a Raptor when he was a kid. When Kevin Durant was growing up, he always wanted to play for the Toronto Raptors because his favorite basketball player, who was Vince Carter at the time, was on the Toronto Raptors.
Who did you grow up wanting to play for?
Believe it or not, I wanted to play for the Toronto Raptors. That was my favorite team growing up.
Why?
I was a big Vince Carter fan.
We all have dreams of becoming something when we are growing up, or being somewhere that we always dreamt of being, and Kevin Durant finally has the chance to live out his childhood dream soon. Number 2, the Raptors' young core. Kevin Durant likes the young players that are on the Toronto Raptors. For example, last year during last season, he made a comment about OG Anunoby, and this is what KD said when he was asked by a fan about what rookie have impressed him the most last season, and he mentioned OG Anunoby's name right away. Durant said, "Rookies that caught my attention, I like OG Anunoby from Toronto. He plays hard, he can shoot it, he rebounds well, he's gonna be really good in the future. And look at the improvement of OG Anunoby. He never made a big jump from his rookie season in terms of stats, but if you watch his game, or you are a fan of the Raptors, or just end up watching the Raptors, even if you are not a fan, just for the sake of watching them for whatever reason, you'll notice that OG Anunoby is one of those players that are better than what shows up on his stats. He impacts the game on so many levels, defensively and offensively, and he does the little things that most players wouldn't want to do. You know what I'm talking about. And the more he gets older is the better he's going to get, and I believe that he'll be really solid in the future. Also, Pascal Siakam. Look at the improvement from his first 2 seasons in the league, and so far he's one of the leading candidates to win the Most Improved Player award, and to be honest, in my opinion, I have him at number 1 on my list to win this award, and he's definitely going to be getting my votes to compete to win that award in a couple of months, and he's definitely going to be a star in the future. He's another one of the young players that KD likes, and here's the proof. Right after the Raptors beat the Warriors by 20 points, 113-93 without Kawhi Leonard last week, this is what KD said. They have champions over there, Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard. They also have guys like Serge Ibaka and Kyle Lowry and Jonas Valanciunas. They got a great mix of veteran and young players. They got a new coach, but the leaders of that team have been through some wars. So I wouldn't call them a young team or say that them beating us 2 few times is going to give them extra confidence. They've been balling before that, and they are going to be balling after they beat us. So they are not an up-and-coming team. They are here. So KD's calling the Raptors definite title contenders. Another thing, if you take a look back in the summer, superstars had a lot of good things to say about Pascal Siakam, and Rico Hines says that they love him from Chris Paul to James Harden and more. I hear them saying, man, he got better. He gets the most praise out of anybody that comes through the gym. And obviously it's true because it's Rico Hines runs that he hosts every summer at UCLA. Even if Rico didn't mention Kevin Durant's name specifically, you have to believe that he's among one of the superstars saying this about Pascal Siakam as well, because he was at those runs in the summer while Pascal was scrimmaging with Team Toronto. So KD is a big believer in this team, especially the young core, and he gets the chance to see them during the season and off-season as well, because this summer, Rico Hines also said, for young guys on the Toronto team, y'all did a hell of a job, man. Y'all be here the last 2 summers as a group. That ish looks good. It looked good in the season, and it looks good here. Y'all play the right way. Keep it up, fellas. It's a pleasure to watch. Keep it up. Fred VanVleet, DeLon Wright, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Norman Powell, and Lorenzo Brown, that was the squad at the Rico Hines runs during the summer. So KD seeing this makes him proud because it's showing how good the young Toronto Raptors core are and how loyal they are to each other. It's a brotherhood. And look how good the Raptors are doing now. They have the best record in the NBA. Number 3, Kawhi status and contracts. There's a possibility that Kawhi might leave, but there's also a possibility that he might stay as well. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll just have to wait till the summer to see what happens, because news came out last week that he's focused on home and LA, even though the Raptors are doing really well. But let's just look at it from a standpoint that he's leaving, because even if Kawhi ends up staying and Durant wanted to come here, that wouldn't happen, because news came out last week that Kawhi is still mad about KD calling him a system player on Twitter a few years ago. So Kawhi wouldn't even want to play with him anyways. But if Kawhi leaves, there will definitely be cap space to sign Kevin Durant, because all these players will be unrestricted free agents, meaning that they can go to any team that they want to sign to when their contract is over with the Toronto Raptors in 2020. CJ Miles, who signed a 3-year $25 million contract last year on July the 18th, Fred VanVleet, who signed a 2-year $18 million contract earlier on this year in July, Jonas Valanciunas, who signed a $64 million contract, and his contract started in the 2016-17 season. Also, Serge Ibaka, who signed a 3-year $65 million contract last year on July the 7th, and last but not least, Kyle Lowry, who signed a contract on July the 7th as well for $100 million for 3 years. I know news has come out that KD wants to be signed to a Supermax deal in the summer next year, but in my opinion, I think that he should consider coming to the Toronto Raptors this upcoming offseason and find out the situation going down here in terms of money, and follow his childhood dream of playing for the Raptors, because he can make a lot of money here if he signs a 1-year deal in the upcoming offseason, and in the summer of 2020, he will be able to make a lot of money here if he waits and doesn't sign with another team. And to be honest, I know most humans want to make as much money as possible on this planet, but some people take it too far, which is where greed creeps in sometimes, depending on how the person is. But I don't know why he's so caught up on being signed to a Supermax deal. He should just wait, in my opinion, and put himself in the best position to win a ring in a competitive way when he leaves the Golden State Warriors, because off the court, financially, he's good, because he makes so much money from endorsements, plus he's a superstar, so he'll get the money he wants anywhere he decides to go, no matter how long he waits. I understand he's been taking pay cuts these past few years to stay with the Warriors to help the team win multiple rings, but still, you know what I mean. Also, if Kawhi left, KD would have his own team and a young core behind him, and the Raptors would still be title contenders, as KD thinks right now, because he's the second best player behind LeBron James in the NBA, and as the years go by, the Raptors' young core is going to get better and more experienced. Just imagine how good the young pieces will be a little over a year from now. Plus, 3 of the young pieces, who are Pascal Siakam, DeLon Wright, and OG Anunoby, are going to be restricted free agents in the future, and I'm confident that Masai Ujiri will make sure that whatever contract is thrown at either of these players from other teams, the Raptors will match the contract offer in order for them to stay and keep them from leaving Toronto, especially for Pascal Siakam. OG Anunoby will be a restricted free agent in the year 2021, Pascal Siakam will be a restricted free agent in 2020, and DeLon Wright will be a restricted free agent this upcoming summer. Number 4, lifestyle and and Drake. KD coming here would be great for him because the friendship with him and Drake. And Drake is the ambassador for the Toronto Raptors, so the Toronto Raptors would even be a bigger attraction than they are now if KD came here. And I believe that stars would want to start coming here and play at that point if this did occur, and KD and Drake could go many places in the city because Drake would carry him around to get a glimpse of how life is here. It's like New York, and the city just suits the lifestyle that KD lives. Here's an example. Look at Kawhi and Drake. This was a picture taken at a club a few days ago, and I feel like the Raptors organization is pushing for Drake to make Kawhi as happy as possible to try and make him stay here as a marketing strategy, because we have to remember, Drake is the ambassador for the Toronto Raptors, so that's his job to promote the team as much as possible to any player that the Raptors desire to keep or have. Toronto is also very multicultural. There's a lot of artists from here like The Weeknd, Party Next Door, Drake himself, Tory Lanez, and more. And I know KD definitely listens to their music because he's into the mainstream stuff. I can't even imagine them bringing him on stage if he's in the city and he's not practicing or playing a game here to finish up their tour if either of these artists had their last show here. And there's just a lot of things to do here, clubbing and a lot more. And like I said before, KD's into the mainstream stuff. He's not a low-key guy like Kawhi Leonard is, so Toronto would be the perfect place for KD to be. But overall, just imagine how crazy the city would be if KD came here and even won a ring here. He would instantly get rid of the ring chasing title put on his name from his decision to go to Golden State back in 2016. Plus, he would have a whole country behind him because as of right now, the Toronto Raptors are the only Canadian team that we have, so we cherish any star or superstar player that plays here. And everyone knows who's a Raptors fan how much we loved and still love DeMar DeRozan, even though he's gone now. He's always welcome back here anytime, so that proves my point. And I hope he decides to come back to Toronto to play here when he becomes a free agent, despite what happened between him being traded and him being mad at Masai Ujiri, even though I don't think that he'll ever make that decision because he feels betrayed, so that's just wishful thinking. But before I end this video, there is something that I want to add. KD doesn't want to play in his hometown, Washington DC, so Washington is out the picture as well. And it's said that there's a possibility that KD might go to the Knicks, but KD shouldn't go anywhere else. The best place for him to be, in my opinion, if he decides to leave the Golden State Warriors, which is what this whole video is about, is to the Toronto Raptors. But with all that being said, these are the 4 reasons why I think that KD should decide to come to Toronto this upcoming offseason. But that's it for the video, guys, and like I always say, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button and comment below. Tell me what you think. Your opinion matters, and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram account. It's the same name as my YouTube channel name, and share this video. Peace!
I eat my French toast, bag of French girl, tell her let's go. Watch me explode like I'm Mentos mixed with that coke. Moving like a groupie, so I back up pronto. Though you a baddie, I'm gon' split my Uber, go get you a taxi.